Welcome everyone. In this video, I'm going to share an amazing chess opening which you can use to crush the move e5. Now, as I have told, you can continue with knight f3, attack the pawn. You can play the Royal Opus or you can play the Italian. That's your call, right? Now, you all might be bored of playing these openings. So, I have a very good opening which you can play, and that is the Vienna game. Idea is that instead of playing knight f3 and attacking this pawn, what you'll do is you'll defend your pawn by playing knight c3. Now, with this, if you are defending it, there is a main reason behind that. Many of the cases, your opponent will play knight f6. Its idea is that he is trying to add some attacker to it. And then you will make a shocking move f4. Now, this moves look quite aggressive and shocking at the same time. What you may observe is that this diagonal becomes completely open, and this is very easy for black to attack this diagonal. Well, so this is a myth. This is not true that black can easily attack your king like that. It is not possible. So what your opponent will do? First of all, let's talk about the accepted line. If we take it, then what you have to do? So you can continue with e5, attacking the knight. If you observe that this knight is already controlling this means that this knight cannot come here. This knight cannot jump here because the queen is controlling it. So what's the best move? The best move comes knight g8. And then you may continuing with knight f3. Now why are you not playing d4? Why are we playing knight f3? Because we have to block the queen coming out. So this is kind of early queen attack which you have to stop. So that's why you will play knight f3 and then you will plan for d4. If your opponent play d6, he is trying to attack this pawn, you can play d4, support it. If we take, you continue with bishop check. Okay, over here there are a lot of chances that your opponent will play the move c6. You will play bishop c4. If we take it, then what you'll do? Now many of you will say that let's take the knight back and attack these pawns. Well, actually this move is incorrect. What you have to do is bishop take on f4. Now you will simply take this weak pawn and continue. Now what are you observing? You are observing this knight. So yes, you'll allow your opponent to take it. And if we take it, then it is a blunder. Now why is that move a blunder? Cause bishop take on f7 is a brilliant bishop sacrifice. If your opponent take it, then queen take on queen. And that's a very easy win. Otherwise, if your opponent play the move king to e7 and ignore. Now let me tell you a most important thing, and that is playing bishop g5 check is not correct. Cause your opponent can take the knight in between. So what's the correct move? The correct move is queen e2 check. Now you might say that king can easily capture it. Well, you play knight e5 check. Now you are controlling the square. So the king can go in any of these four options. If the king comes here, then you sacrifice the bishop like this. So now over here, if we move the king, you cap the queen. Otherwise, if he takes the bishop, then knight check, that's a fork, you win the queen in the next move. Otherwise, if your opponent continues with king in any of these three squares, then what you will do? So if you play king e8, you play knight take on c6, queen is giving check, the knight is already attacking the queen, so you can simply take the queen in the next move. Now this is how you crush the black move. Okay, by the Vienna Gambit. So this is the masterpiece of Vienna Gambit. Now we have another variation in this, such that your opponent tries to be smart and play queen e7. Now you cannot take it. Why? Because that's a pin. So what you will do is you will simply play queen e2 and you will block that pin. Your opponent will take the knight back, then you can play d4. It does not matter that if we try queen check or not, cause what you can do is you can simply move the king here. Okay, bishop can take and then move the king here, take the rook here, then king here. Slide the king. This is how you are going to work on your development. Anyway, so over here, this is not the most common move played. Okay, what's the most common move which is played? So let's talk about that. Now over here, your opponent continues with knight c6. Okay, you will play the move knight f3. Now the main reason is you are defending this pawn. The bishop take on this f4 will always be an option to you. So d6 will be played. Now if you play d6, then there is a trap. You can play knight e5, attack the queen. If you play queen here, knight take on it, and that's a game over for black. So if your opponent play the queen here, then you sacrifice the knight. Such that if the queen takes, you take it back, and that's a game over for black. So let's take it back. Now over here, if your opponent is not accepting and playing knight c6, some of the defensive moves in the game, what you do is you simply take the pawn. If your opponent take it, you play d4, striking the center. Such that your opponent take the knight back, you play e5, attack this knight further. Once again, the knight cannot jump in any of these four options. So what's the best move? Okay, if we play queen e7, then what will happen? Once again, play queen e2. The pin is blocked, and at the same time, you'll attack this. He'll take the knight back. Then what you can do is you can play bishop d2 and then focus on knight e5. So this is how you are going to crush black. Otherwise, if we directly play knight g8, then what you have to do? So you play knight f3. Once again, the reason is blocking the queen from coming out. d6, bishop c4. If we take the pawn, you ignore it and castle. If we take another pawn, you play knight g5. If we take your knight, then what will happen? There is a mate in just 5 moves. So you can comment about the checkmate in this comment section. And thanks for watching.